Benching a starter after a loss usually sparks outrage, especially in a program like South Carolina, where expectations are national title heavy and patience runs thin. So when Staley pulled Madina Okot out of the starting lineup against undefeated Vanderbilt, it felt, at first glance, like a quiet indictment. A message, a punishment, or at least that's how fans and critics were ready to spin it. But what unfolded next complicated that narrative in the most uncomfortable way possible. Okot didn't sulk, she didn't disappear. She didn't play smaller. Instead, she delivered one of her most efficient and disruptive performances of the season, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 5 steals, and an undeniable presence that helped South Carolina dismantle Vanderbilt by nearly 30. That raises the real question, was the benching a wake-up call, or was it proof that she never needed to start in the first place? Staley insists it wasn't about blame, and to her credit, the context matters. Okot was coming off a rough outing against Oklahoma, where turnovers piled up, rebounding dipped, and the game seemed to move a step too fast. For a player adjusting to new expectations after transferring from Mississippi State, the weight can hit harder than the box score shows. Staley's move wasn't about demotion, it was about perspective. Still, this is where the controversy lives. South Carolina doesn't usually tinker with success, especially not with a 6'6" center, whose ceiling is obvious. Critics will argue that elite players are supposed to fight through pressure, not be shielded from it. Others will point out that Okot looked freer, sharper, and more decisive once she entered the game on her own terms. Both sides have a point. What made the decision feel intentional, not reactive, was the history Staley referenced: A'ja Wilson, Aaliyah Boston. Program legends who weren't rushed into dominance, who were allowed to grow before being crowned. Staley has seen what happens when expectations arrive before readiness, and she's clearly determined not to repeat that cycle. Against Vanderbilt, Okot played with clarity. She read passing lanes, she finished through contact. She rebounded with purpose. The game slowed down, and in that slower rhythm, she looked like the player South Carolina has been waiting for. So was benching Madina Okot the right move? The honest answer is uncomfortable. It worked, but it shouldn't become a habit. This was a reset, not a formula. The danger isn't in sitting her, it's in forgetting that confidence, once rebuilt, needs trust to survive. And now, the real pressure starts again.